The night was silent, too silent. An army marched forward, confident, unstoppable, thousands of soldiers under the banner of the mighty Ottoman Empire. They had conquered kingdoms before. This would be no different. But as dawn broke, they stopped. Not because of enemy soldiers, not because of a battle, but because of what stood before them. A forest of the dead. Thousands of bodies impaled on wooden stakes, stretching as far as the eye could see, and at the center of it all, one man, Vlad the Impaler. Long before he became a legend, Vlad was just a boy. He was born in the land of Wallachia, a small and fragile principality caught between powerful enemies. To the south, the Ottoman Empire. To the north, the Kingdom of Hungary. Wallachia wasn't strong. It survived by choosing sides carefully, or by being crushed. Vlad's father, Vlad II, was a ruler trying to hold on to power in a dangerous world, but power in those times came with a price. To prove loyalty to the Ottomans, Vlad II was forced to send his own sons, Vlad and his younger brother, as hostages to the Ottoman court. Imagine that. A child taken from his home, raised among enemies. This is where everything began. At the Ottoman court, Vlad learned many things. He was educated, trained in warfare, and exposed to the strategies of empire. But more importantly, he learned fear, not the kind you feel in the dark, the kind that is taught, the kind that is used. Punishments were brutal. Discipline was absolute. Power was everything. Some say Vlad was tortured. Others say he simply watched. But everyone agrees on one thing: he never forgot. Years passed. The boy grew into a young man, and one day he was released. But he did not return home to peace. He returned to chaos. His father had been murdered, his older brother buried alive, his family destroyed, and the throne of Wallachia taken. That day, something inside Vlad changed. He didn't just want his throne back. He wanted revenge. Vlad's rise to power was not smooth. It was violent. He fought, lost, returned, and fought again. In a land filled with betrayal, alliances shifted like sand. Friends became enemies overnight, and enemies sometimes became tools. But Vlad was different now. He no longer trusted anyone. When he finally took the throne of Wallachia, he didn't celebrate. He acted. The first thing he did was deal with the boyars, the nobles who had betrayed his father. He invited them to a grand feast. Food was served, wine was poured, laughter filled the room. And then, Vlad stood up. He asked them a simple question: "How many rulers have you served?" Some answered honestly, too honestly. Vlad nodded, and then he gave the order. The old and weak were executed immediately. The young and strong were taken away, forced into labor, many never to return. It was a message: betray me, and this is your fate. But that was just the beginning. Vlad believed in order, absolute order. He hated corruption. He despised theft. He wanted a country where fear kept people honest, so he ruled with terror. It is said that during his reign, you could leave a golden cup in the street, and no one would dare steal it, not because they were good, but because they were afraid. Punishments were harsh and unforgettable. Thieves, liars, criminals, even those who broke minor laws, faced brutal consequences, but one method became his signature: impalement. But Vlad's true test came when he turned against the empire that once held him. The Ottoman Empire demanded tribute, money, loyalty, obedience. Vlad refused, not quietly, violently. When Ottoman envoys came to his court, they refused to remove their turbans as their customs demanded. Vlad smiled and then ordered their turbans nailed to their heads. Another message, this time to an empire. War was inevitable. The Ottomans gathered a massive army led by Sultan Mehmed II, the conqueror of Constantinople. Thousands of soldiers marched toward Wallachia, and Vlad, he didn't meet them head-on. He used something far more powerful than numbers: fear. He launched night raids, attacking camps in darkness. He burned fields, poisoned wells, and left nothing behind. His own land became a weapon. His goal wasn't victory in battle, it was breaking the enemy's will. And then came the moment that would define him forever. As the Ottoman army advanced toward the capital, they expected resistance. They expected soldiers. Instead, they found death. A massive field filled with thousands of impaled bodies, soldiers, prisoners, men, women, left as a horrifying display. This was the forest of the impaled. The sight was so shocking, so disturbing, that even hardened soldiers were shaken. The Sultan himself is said to have turned back. Not because he was defeated, but because he understood something terrifying. This was not a man you could conquer easily. This was a man who would destroy everything, including his own land, before he surrendered. But here's where the story changes, because Vlad was not just a monster. To his enemies, he was a nightmare. But to his people, he was something else, a protector. A ruler who kept order in a chaotic world, a man who stood against a powerful empire when others bowed. History is strange like that. The same actions that make someone a villain can make them a hero.